Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn Conversational English. I'm Laura, and as always, I'm joined by Jim.
Hey there, good to be back. Hope everyone is having a great week, wherever you are in the world.
We're so glad you've tuned in. Now, if you're new here, this podcast is all about, well, just listening to us talk. We want to help you get a feel for how English is actually spoken in real life, not just how it's written in a textbook.
Yeah, because, let's be honest, textbooks don't really teach you how to stumble through a sentence or use a bit of slang, do they?
Light laugh. They definitely don't. Anyway, today we're talking about something that I think a lot of our listeners are dealing with. We're talking about career changes and how to find your dream job in this, new economy.
Which is a bit scary if I'm being honest. I mean, the way we work now, it's just so different from how my parents did it. My dad, he worked for the same company in Saskatchewan for, 30 years? And then he just retired. That's not really a thing anymore, eh?
No, not at all. I think most of us will have 5 or 6 different careers, not just jobs, but entire careers, throughout our lives now, especially with the digital marketplace and, well, AI.
Right. I mean, not right as in I agree, but, the AI stuff. It's everywhere.
Smiling tone. I know what you mean. So, let's dive into it. Jim, when you think about changing careers, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Honestly, fear. Just the idea of starting over. Like, I've spent years learning how to do certain things, and then I look at a job posting for something in the digital space, and I feel like I don't speak the language. Not English, but the professional language.
That's such a good point. And that's actually where transferable skills come in. I think that's a phrase our listeners should know. Transferable skills. They're just things you're good at in one job that are also useful in a completely different job.
Like, communication?
Exactly. Or leadership, or say organizing a schedule. If you were a teacher, you're basically a project manager for 30 children. That's a high level skill. You can take that and move it into a corporate role.
I never thought about it like that. I guess, it's about rebuilding your professional identity. Like, instead of saying, I was a teacher, you say, I am an expert in group management and curriculum development.
Precisely. It's all about the vocabulary you use to describe yourself, which leads us to, uh, the nightmare that is the modern resume.
Oh, boy. The resume. I remember when you just typed it up, printed it on some nice paper, and handed it to a person. Now you send it into, I don't know, a digital void?
Laughs. A digital void is a perfect way to describe it. Most big companies now use, these things called ATS, Applicant Tracking Systems. They're basically algorithms, robots, that scan your resume for keywords before a human ever sees it.
That sounds kind of cold. So, if the robot doesn't see the word synergy or optimization, it just tosses your application in the trash?
Pretty much, which is why, you have to tailor your resume. You can't just have one version. You have to look at the job description, find the words they use, and weave those words into your own experience.
So, it's kind of like matching a puzzle?
Exactly. It's a bit tedious, but it's the only way to get past the robot and actually talk to a human.
We've talked a lot on this show before about people moving to Canada or Australia and trying to settle in. I feel like this is where it gets really tricky for immigrants.
I was just thinking about that. It's one thing to move, but it's another thing to get a job that, uh, actually matches your level of education.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people who were like senior engineers in their home country, and they come here and they end up driving taxis for a few years because their credentials aren't recognized.
It's heartbreaking, and it's such a waste of talent. But, I think the new economy actually offers a bit of a shortcut. Because with remote work, You can work for a company in Toronto while living in a small town, or even work for a company in London or New York from your living room.
True, the global marketplace makes the physical location less important, but you still have to negotiate, and that's probably the scariest part for a lot of people, especially if English isn't their first language.
Oh, definitely. It's like a dance. You don't want to sound too aggressive, but you don't want to sound like, you're just happy to be there. You have to show your value.
What are some of those, sophisticated phrases people can use instead of just saying, I want more money, which sounds a bit blunt?
Chuckles. Yeah, maybe don't say that. Instead, you could say, based on my research of the current market rate for this role, I was expecting a salary in the range of.
Market rate. I like that. It makes it about the industry, not about you personally.
Exactly. And if you're talking about remote work, instead of saying, I don't want to come into the office, you could say, I find that I'm most productive when I have a flexible work arrangement, which allows me to focus deeply on my deliverables.
Deliverables. That's one of those corporate words. I love it. It sounds so professional.
Laughs. It really does. But let's be real. The 2026 economy it's shifting fast. With AI, some jobs are just disappearing.
It is a bit daunting, but I guess if you keep learning, if you keep upskilling, you can stay relevant.
That's the key. Upskilling, just taking a short course or learning a new software, or even just listening to podcasts like this one to improve your communication skills.
Hey, you're plugging the show.
Laughing. I am, but it's true. Communication is the one thing AI can't fully replicate. The human connection, the ability to empathize, to negotiate. That's where the real value is.
I think you're right. It's kind of like when I was a kid, we used to go fishing up north. My grandpa always said, it doesn't matter how fancy your lure is. If you don't know where the fish are actually swimming, you're not catching anything.
Smiling. That's actually a great metaphor. The lure is your resume, but knowing where the fish are is understanding the market and the people.
Exactly. So, for anyone listening who feels stuck in a job they hate, or maybe they're in a new country and struggling, just remember that your skills, they travel with you. You just might need to translate them into a new language.
I love that. Translate them into a new language. Not just English, but the language of the industry you want to enter.
This has been actually really helpful for me too, Laura. I might need to, polish up my own deliverables.
Laughs. I think we all do, Jim. I think we all do.
Well, I think that's a good place to wrap things up for today.
I agree. Thank you all so much for listening to us chat. We hope this gave you some useful phrases and maybe a little bit of confidence for your own career journey.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out.
It really does. We appreciate every one of you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. We'll see you in the